All right. Thank
Major,
you so.
Magasundar Wogo Pindai, Major, Pindai.
But
Thank,
Lord was
thank
the first one. Lord was first before Major.
Padre. Shut up.
Lord, then
Shut
Major.
up, Padre.
I couldn't
Thank you
Shut
very
up.
much.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. We are being
Thank you. There's
civil
no
here.
reason to be rude.
Guys, let's
Exactly.
let's let's be orderly. Dokumbira,
Exactly.
let's be orderly and let's be respectful. Kubatsirana.
Exactly.
I think we have a
Ndingobatsirawo shamwari
Kubatsirana.
yakanga iri kumushadza zvaive wakunditukire chii.
Let's please. I still our spaces at Chombodaro Kunoko. At
Exactly.
Chombodaro at
Ndo
no
zvinoenda kuneCCC izvo ndo zvavanongoita
Kumbirisa
zvisora
kuti aimbomira. Let's not have this, guys. Let's not have this. I don't believe
Thank you
that I
very
need
much.
to mute anyone. I don't believe that we need to be fighting. I think we need to just have this diversity, and we continuously have this, so that's no
Can I speak
connection.
now? Can I speak now?
We are, yeah. Please, let's do it respectfully. You can go ahead.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Um,
Tech Mark Zimbabwe. It's me speaking
what's
now.
going on here?
I raised my hand first.
Go ahead,
Thank you
brother.
Go
You
so
can
ahead,
go
much.
ahead.
Major, go ahead, Major.
Thank you so much, my brother, for this space. And I would like to thank the court and the lawyers for vindicating us. We are people who are led by one thought, one vision, which comes from Nelson Chamisa, and that vision is we do not believe in any. How can I put it well? We don't want ZANU PF to think or to be led to believe that Zimbabwe will be theirs for the coming time. We're taking over Zimbabwe. That's what we're about to do. And this court case is a first step in that method. They can laugh, they can put their laughing emojis, but as Nabasa, Chamisa is on his way to win. This court case here, Tshabangu.
Finals apani munhu ari kutaura. Take Mark, pani munhu ari kutaura.
You know what? I can't hear anyone speaking.
Finals is co-host now.
Okay.
Sorry, I was just adding finance to be the co-host, just in case I disconnect.
No, that's fine. Thanks.
So I've just added finance as the co-host, so that he helps me here neutralize and let's flow with this case. I hopefully hope you do the Lord's work well, because I've got trust in him to do that. So thank you so much. You can go ahead with the conversation and help me out, finance, to select the next speakers up until we are back here. So commotioning yakupera kuno kwa court. So please do bear with us, and then I'll fully be here once it's over. Thank you.
Okay, Ningi, guys, because I've just joined as Ningi as a co-host, and it's line up and camera say, but I believe Lord was coming next. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, good morning, Lord. You can go ahead, please. And also, pane issue iri banning Kwandiri, guys. I don't know if anyone can respond later on. What constitutes to being a member of Triple C? Because the last person I forgot his name. He mentioned that issue. A membership of Triple C. What constitutes one being a member of Triple C? Lord, go ahead.
Thank you very much. I think there are fundamental things that are coming from the case, Tshabangu. The key aspect being the vacuum of leadership within Triple C. We cannot ignore that Chamisa failed to execute his duties as a leader from start to finish. He has been inconsistent and he has failed to lead as a leader should. And throwing it as a mango strategy does not work at all. This and saying it's part of Sun Tzu, I saw him quoting Sun Tzu recently, does not work at all. Sun Tzu demanded order in everything he did, whether it's war or whether it's assuming formlessness in terms of strategy. there had to be order. Chamisa has failed to put order. Chamisa has the case of Tshabangu, in all honesty, he may win the case because, again, the manner in which every Triple C member or candidate was selected can be questioned by any constitutional court. And as a result, where there is a doubt of appointment or where there is consideration of who appointed who, then at the end of the day, just the same way Chamisa got in the first time in MDC Alliance, is again the same manner in which Tshabangu has put himself in office. Chamisa was not selected by anyone, right? And again, he comes in and
Time
wants
to
to.
ga 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 ga.
Can you keep quiet respectfully?
Sorry,
Um,
Ryan. Sorry, Lord. Who said that?
I hope.
The
Uh,
hope will be like
Hope,
that.
can
It
we
will be
be
bullying
Hope?
people.
Can we be very respectful, guys? Maspesi Jambanja, Ichibubu, we cannot do that, please. Allow someone to speak. Go ahead, Ningi Ryan. Thanks.
Again, the intellectual capacity of individuals within the Triple C is clearly identified in such spaces, because that is why they can never lead anything constructively, because chibububu ga 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 ga, no one thinks rationally. This is what we're seeing from all of them. So I would then say in closing, I would encourage Tshabangu to recall each and every MP and councillor from Triple C so that they can have a constitutional structure. This thing of Chamisa thinking he can be a god in politics is a thing of the past. And bear in mind, he has created a vacuum that can be filled by any other leader in the political circle. And some may even be new leaders coming arising. Even Anna Chapman can take leadership. Anna Madam Elizabeth can now take form because Chamisa has failed. It's quite sad. I had really high hopes for the young man, and I hope that he will learn his lesson going forward. Thank you.
Okay, Lord. Before you go, you have articulated the aspect here, Shabangu, to recall further the MPs and using what mandate?
He is the authentic and well alluded to from constitutional means, the Triple C interim secretary general, as Chamisa also indicated as he went to election, that he was the interim president of Triple C, not the president. Everyone in Triple C is interim, so you cannot question his credibility. He is well founded. And and again, Chamisa was found lying to Triple. What was it on SABC, when he said he has never met Tshabangu, he does not know Tshabangu, and then a picture comes, right? So you then have to understand that questioning Tshabangu is equally questioning Chamisa, and in truth, Tshabangu comes out on top. Thank you.
Okay, noted. Thank you so much, guys. I'll bastardize the lineup. I'm sorry, kana nikakuskipa. Panawatanga kuya. So let me just do a bit of housekeeping. I will start with Mambo and Woko. Then we go to Citizen Z. Then we go to Mofu in that order, please. Thanks. Go ahead, Mambo.
Guys, I see with many culture every now and then people have to blame Nelson Chamisa, but you forget that Nelson Chamisa is coming from MDC Alliance, where there was structures, where there was everything, there was leadership. They went to Congress, but the member of parliament, they were still recalled. This instruction is very simple. It's coming from Emerson Mnangagwa himself. He's one that approved that instruction, as he has confirmed that he is the judiciary, he is the police, he is the military. In fact, he is everything. He has captured everything in Zimbabwe. That's why you go to the courts, they're still going to lose. In parliament, Tshabangu comes out of nowhere, and then the Speaker of Parliament, the President of the Senate, accept a letter from Tshabangu from nowhere without any basis. So it's the instructions coming from him. As
Okay,
can be
Mambo.
seen when he...
Mambo.
Okay.
If you can mute your mic for a sec, I just need to have a bit of a dialogue with you. you are very specific on the issue Yema recalls. Kuti, this is coming. This is falling on the doorstep of Emerson Mnangagwa, and you say rightly so. The issue for me is on Pama recalls. Remember when they constituted the recalls, it apparently, and this is from Douglas Monzora, that it was also part of the opposition was very key in instituting constitution that particular clause in my recalls. They had Jonathan Moyo in mind at the time because Vakangwa supporter before, and then he went back to ZANU-PF and they decided to insulate themselves as political parties. Saka, can this be said, Kuti, they shot themselves in the foot by allowing that to go through as opposition parties? Go ahead.
No, I wouldn't say that was that section 129K or 128K. I'm not sure. It's on purpose. So you can for discipline within the party also. So to make sure that people carry on the party mandate. Me, I don't see it as in like that. But where the problem comes now, the problem comes in the abuse of the constitution. That's where the problem comes now. That's why now people start to question now that section. But if it's properly administered, and if we have people that respect the rule of law, I don't see that that the clause as a real problem. Was by the end of the day.
Where is the synergy with Mnangagwa here or ZANU-PF? Because we need to get this right once and for all. I'm going to be very impartial, unfortunately. Where is the synergy? Because you constantly say this is a ZANU-PF project, this is a Mnangagwa issue. Where does Mnangagwa come in?
Okay, it's very simple. Where Mnangagwa comes in, it's very simple where he comes in. As soon as the recalls were done, first thing you have to follow the pattern. First thing is a Speaker of Parliament, the President of the Senate, and the Minister of Local Government. And then what follows is now the President proclamation that the election will be held in December. So it's very simple. You can see that it's a pattern. You can see the fingers. You can see the fingers of Emerson Mnangagwa himself. There was no way this whole thing was gonna go through without him having to approve. Because he's the one that really captured the judiciary. The same way the people like Job Scala cannot get bail. Because why? Because Emerson Mnangagwa says you can't get bail. He just gives instructions to his foot soldiers, and the instructions carries the order of the day. You can see the footprints. You can see the footprints of himself.
Okay, prepare to lend, please.
If the institutions were independent, because the way I know that Mudenda is an advocate, is a lawyer, that guy. There was no way that you would take an illegal instruction if he was acting independently without any strings being pulled somewhere else from some other places. And with the position that he sits, it cannot be someone lower that can pull that string. It has to be someone higher. Because remember that the Speaker of Parliament, if I'm not mistaken, is fourth after the two vice presidents in the line of succession. So it has to be a higher authority. It can't be someone lower. It can't be someone. It has to be Mnangagwa himself and probably the Politburo that has made that decision to say, okay, let's destabilize the CCC.
Okay, right.
And using state institutions.
Okay, perfect. Thanks a lot, my brother, for your contribution. And Zet, if you can follow up on what Mambo is saying, particularly on the issue of, because sometimes we speak from conjecture, even though teaches Ziva, the tentacles with the Zrigu Bakopi and what's happening, but most of it is conjecture without being substantiated. Could you take us through this journey, Zet? Your 3 minutes starts now. Thanks.
Take my finals. Thank you very much, everyone. Propaganda meets reality, very bad combination.
Section 129, 1K is very clear, people. We even said it is a standalone. Judge turned around and confirmed that. There's no point of confirming. Other constitutional courts confirmed that. I remember we're in Uncle Jet's space. Constitutional court is higher than every other thing, deals with the constitution, turns around and examines and says, this is how you interpret this section. It is a standalone. Cannot be used with any other. This is why the parliament turned around. They wanted to codify it so that it can be used with the Parliamentary Act. Now, letter is written, letter is received, letter is pronounced. Parliament has done its job. Parliament turns around it and let's say Speaker of the House or President of the Senate wants to examine. No, you cannot, because it does not give you on that section. That is therefore confirmed again by a constitutional court that they were quoting. Then you've got something, doctrine, is what it's called? Doctrine, separation of power doctrine. One cannot affect the other cannot affect the other. Yeah? Who are the powers? They're talking about 3 powers here. Yeah? Again, problematic. Propaganda meets reality. Then you ask yourself sometimes, why would propaganda with reality? This is why I always say, with me, I've taken this as Twitter influencing political parties. And that's very dangerous. Now, we move on.
Zet, hold it there. You're speaking about propaganda. From which end? From whose end?
Self-generated propaganda.
By who? Is it by the opposition? By the incumbent? By who?
No, it is the opposition's one, this one. What
Okay,
we say,
what
we say on the streets should not affect politicians, obviously, without them actually knowing the consequences. Then they touch on something that I think maybe without us wanting to see the reality, actually turns around and affects this case quite a lot. They touch on arguments on the second respondent and the third respondent, but mainly on the second respondent. Remember, you are putting everyone in one block, therefore one block moves, everyone moves. You take out things, everything falls. You turn around, they pulled back. I don't know why no one is talking about that. They pulled back because at the end of the day, what they'd accused the Speaker of the House is something that we do politically, but we cannot do on paper. Things that we say on Twitter, we need to understand there are things on Twitter amongst ourselves, jokingly here, but that has got a big head, but does he have a big head? No, it does not. Maybe his head is just average. Yeah.
2 minutes.
But you cannot take that and put it on court. Now, they pulled that, 2. Then there's something that is said that I think other people did not want to hear. When other things were pulled in, they brought evidence about who they are. Tshabangu brought evidence about who he is. Yeah? Then the both of the evidence, the judge turned around and threw it out and said it was irrelevant. To what? Kept on going back to 2K. Unless they pull the case and go and challenge Tshabangu on a separate case saying Tshabangu, who is he outside of this case? My friends, I think the judgment that is coming, people are not ready for. Because you pulled 2 of the respondents in front of everyone else, making that, the other one said it very well. Humpty Dumpty on the wall, Humpty Dumpty falls. You can't put Humpty Dumpty together again. No, you cannot. Unless you go and recreate Humpty Dumpty in a separate reality, meaning a separate case. But again, we don't want to hear reality. We don't want to hear truth. You need to live on truth, people, if we're going to do this game nicely.
Okay, that right. If you hang fire there, my brother, thanks a lot. And you're saying it's likely to be a damning report or a damning verdict from the sitting judge. And to whose advantage? That's the question. Mofu, go ahead, please.
Oh, sorry, can I answer that one?
Yes, you can. Go ahead.
No. Records are going to stay because they put two people and everything else that they presented is irrelevant to the case that they presented. So at the end of the day, the judge turned around. If you're listening to the judge, he turned around and took that pot of evidence and said, your one is irrelevant, your one is irrelevant. So everything is gone because at the end of the day, you're coming in. They put too much pressure on respondent number two. Respondent number one is based on everything is connected. You pull one, everything falls apart. Until you go to court and challenge Tshabangu by himself to prove whether he's CCC or not, then you might have a talk, but then everything would have gone, 7 days and
Okay, a quick one.
nomination courts and all that.
Perfect. A quick one before you go then. So can we therefore say issues to the aggrieved who turn around and say the courts are captured, whatever verdict comes back, as long as it's not to our advantage?
Zimbabwean courts are captured, but I don't think people understand what courts capturing is. I think they truly think it's like, gather everyone and totally everything else. Yeah? Depends. To judge it case by case. If you go to the constitutional book that is written 2018, it lays it down over 100 and something court cases that show that the courts are captured. But it does not mean that every single case that you're going to go to is going to be captured. It just means it's after the thought when you're reading through,
Okay,
is the judgment reserved or not kind of thing going on.
Okay, thanks, my brother. Truly appreciate it. If you're joining us, Ningi, the tech mark has managed to go live court to be able to provide us my live feeds. So we truly appreciate you guys. Morpho, you are coming next. What's your take?
Yeah, my brother. Yeah, I think I've been following this court case now. But me, I'm looking from another angle. Don't you see these guys, they've thrown Tshabangu under the bus? Because now Tshabangu is standing on his own now. There's the two guys. The case here, Mudenda. Then there was ED. ED and Mudenda have been removed. Now it's Tshabangu standing on his own. And just to make it simple, finals, if we hang around together, or my kids' school headmasters, headmistress, they see us to do together, and at one time you get some evil thoughts, you go and withdraw my kids or try to transfer them from school. Then me, ndoku challenge, I want to go out, can you prove you are the father of these kids? What is required there? And that is the same thing with Tshabangu. He has to prove now. He has demanded to be recalling these people. Because if they say, yeah, more proof you are the father, they're going to hold that, yes, let's go for DNA. Or let's go for, can you provide my papers and Olinka Kuti? It's the same to a family surname. But Tshabangu is failing to do that. And he has failed this money. So I think Tshabangu has been thrown under the bus. And the ZANU people, maybe they thought the case is going to take another direction. So right now we want to hear the outcome of this court case. And it's a good thing. It has been put here online. My only goes, I grew up in Zimbabwe. But so many people, they've listened to me. They now know who's Tshabangu. So many people, they're going to listen to this. They're going to watch. And when people say Zim government is a rogue government, and when people are saying more sanction to this government, how can we say no? Can I teach my own goals? You don't do that. There was no point for them even to make it online.
Okay,
Right now,
so
if
so your overriding feeling is the verdict is going to come in favor of Triple C because you're saying they've done an own goal up. So that's what you are affirming. Just in your closing remarks, because I need to bring one of our resident lawyers, Mkoma Toto. So go ahead briefly, then we can go to Mkoma Tino.
with how we operate now in Zimbabwe, it's a case of I have to gain no matter how I took it. So right now, if it goes PF way, I wish if it will go that way. And when I answer maybe this government is a rogue government. If Tshabangu akatinaso to winner, then tazvi-expose kuti ndo matongero atinoita. But if it goes the CC way, yes, inenge yaendawo CC way. But Tshabangu ane vanhu vari kumupa. Noti Tshabangu ari ega. He cannot do that. Same namashavire. And just to land, vanhu toda kucompare nezvaitwa ku-MDC Alliance or MDCT. Ku-MDCT taitoziva kuti secretary anga ariko SG ndidhagi. Taitoziva kuti ana Komichi ndo vanga vari machairman for some years. Mutenda did not know, he did not even know Tshabangu. He did not even know those guys. So my records aiitwa ku-MDC ainyatsoitwa negwara.
Because there was no ambiguity at the time. Itime chivhara mofu so that I can move to Mkoma Tino. Thanks.
No, yes, aiitwa negwara because there was no ambiguity what. But ambiguity yakaiswa for a reason. So for Mutenda to say maybe he can just finals, I've got my uncle here, Baba Mayangu, vane photos na Chamisa. Can I go kutote asekuru just post mnema photos na Chamisa ngati tema records and Mutenda he can accept that because vane photos asekuru na Chamisa. Does not make sense. Anyway, I will land on that. Thank you.
Okay, thanks a lot. I hope someone will come out and tell the truth, particularly Panyema Photos, because I constantly hear this, Kuti, they don't know him, and then when you speak to the people that were with him within the MDC, and even at the promulgation of Triple C, so we don't know Indiani. It will come to light soon. Let me go to
Finals.
Briefly though, I need to move.
5 seconds. 5 seconds. Finals. Okay. If I put my photo with you, and people say Finals is your brother, can I say yes, Finals is my brother? I'll say no, I don't know him. So Chamisa was just answering, do you know this guy as an SG? No, he does not. He does not know him.
Okay, perfect. Thanks a lot.
That's how I can answer it. Yeah.
Okay, truly appreciated. Guys, Vandajamba Paku, I'm truly sorry. I need to bring a legal mind so that he can unpack a few things, Zinengash blade lines for us, my armchair and the commentators. Mkoma Tino, welcome to the space and just your overriding take on everything that's happening.
Thank you. I had joined this space just to listen, but I then raised my hand to speak because the previous speaker, everything that he said, insofar as it relates to the implications of what has happened at court, is legally and factually incorrect. The case before the High Court is a case challenging the Speaker for invoking Section 129, subsection 1, paragraph K of the Constitution, in writing to ZEC to inform them that vacancies have arisen as a result of him having received a letter from a member of a political party or from a political party notifying him that certain people previously gazetted as having been elected MPs no longer belonged to that political party. That is the decision being challenged. What is not being challenged at the High Court is Tshabangu writing a letter to the Speaker, because nothing flows from that. No one.
Mkomatino, Mkomatino, for clarity purposes, I want you to repeat that part. What's being challenged for High Court? Go ahead.
What is being challenged at the High Court is the Speaker's acting on in terms of Section 129 1K of the Constitution, not Tshabangu writing a letter to the Speaker. So if you remove the Speaker from the case, you are not challenging a recall. What you are now doing is asking the court to deal with an internal party matter as to should you have written the letter or not. Now, effectively, what you are now asking for is the court to listen while you talk about ngano dzokupati kwenyu without any implications on the people that have been recalled. In other words, removing the Speaker and the President of the Senate from the case effectively concedes that these two people were right to write to ZEC to say that there were vacancies. If they were correct to do that letter, then the ZEC was correct in informing the President that there are vacancies. And the President was correct in acting within 40 days in terms of the Constitution in calling by-elections. Legally, once you remove the Speaker, who is the author of the decision being challenged, namely the notification to ZAC that there are vacancies, you no longer have a case on recalls. What you now have is this internal thing, which I'm sure the court might listen to because it might be interesting, but it does not result in legal consequences such as the ones that Mofu here is saying. There is absolutely zero chance of, Mofu says, if CCC wins. First of all, there is zero chance of CCC winning anything because they are not party to this application at all. They were not cited. There is also zero chance of these applicants winning because once you remove the respondents against whom you want relief, what is left to win? Even if the court says that it is interested in finding out whether or not Tshabangu had the authority to recall them, that is not the case that has been pleaded. The papers are not saying, give us a decision. So that what? I mean, so that what? Once you say the Speaker was right to send the letter, the process is underway. There's going to be a by-election. And if there's going to be a by-election, everything else becomes moot. And finally, so that I don't hog the mic, this issue of people repeatedly saying that Chamisa did not lie when he said that he doesn't know Tshabangu because anyone gets a picture taken with him is hypocritical, because the particular picture that was shown is not a random picture of somebody seeing a handsome young man like my brother is and saying, can you take a picture with me? It is a picture taken at the lodge where the decision was made to change from MDC Alliance to CCC. It follows that everyone who was at that lodge at that time was not a random member of the public for two reasons. One, because it was a private event, and two, because this was during the time of COVID. You can see with the masks, they wouldn't have had random members of the public going to some lodge and saying, I want pictures with Chamisa. Come on, people.
Okay, Mkoma Tino, what I want you to do is I want you to mute your mic for a second because I want Kuti Van Right to engage near me. Pana question is to do with you said CCC was not cited in this court application. Fair play. So should CCC then have written an affidavit in support of those Van Wakatwa recalled people, the MPs that are actually challenging this? Should they have written an affidavit? Would that have sufficed or not?
If CCC had been cited in the application, as they should have been, they would then have written an affidavit to say whether they recalled or did not recall these people. There is a reason why CCC was not cited. Because if, according to the constitution that Tshabangu sent to the speaker, it is the Secretary General who communicates with Parliament and who writes letters. It follows that if these people had cited CCC, Tshabangu would have done an affidavit on behalf of CCC, confirming that, yes, they were recalled. So their decision, not Tshabangu's decision, to not include the party in the papers was precisely because they knew what would happen if they cited the political party. An affidavit would have come confirming that yes, indeed, they were recalled. So it was deliberate in the hope that perhaps the case might be won on some other ground. Clearly, that has not worked.
Okay, perfect. Thanks. So, guys that will come and ask questions, I expect Kutimite so respectfully. It doesn't matter your reservations about Nkomatino as a legal mind. I just want you to be very respectful. So, I'll start off with.
I'd like to ask a question, Finals, if you may allow me.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to articulate. If you hold on for a sec, thanks. Yeah. Okay. So if we are very respectful, it doesn't matter your reservations about Nkomatino. Let's ask respectfully. So Nkoma Hope, then tuenda kuna mofu, ndukuna kusumza rugoko, then tuenda kuna Bosalan. Thanks.
All right. Nkomatino came in as someone with the legal knowledge, and we appreciate that. We love that on spaces, especially when these cases are under discussion. I have a question for him. He says CCC was not cited, and forgive my ignorance. Who is the applicant? Is it an individual? Is it an organization? Is it a party? Who is the applicant? Maybe that's where I got a bit lost myself. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Nkomatino, back to you.
The applicants are everyone who was recalled in their individual capacities. And it is the applicants in their individual capacities who filed the application. So it was their decision not to cite or include CCC. They could have filed an affidavit on behalf of CCC in their application, but I'm sure they feared that Tshabangu would say they had no right to do that affidavit. But it was their decision. So the applicants are not the party, it's the individual, the individuals who were recalled from Parliament, all of them.
Okay. Are you satisfied, Hope, so that we can move to Mofu, please? Okay. Can we please go Kuna Mofu? Mofu, your question, please.
Yeah, my brother, I think. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. We can hear
you. My brother, I can see your name. When you say that picture, my brother, I'm going to base on a picture. It was a private meeting. And you saw that picture. And you're going to talk about my pictures and Buddha can apagais Swatino, finance na move. Pagatonzi, Tech is the director. And the finance is the managing director. Move is a cleaner in the company. But that photo, Yakabuda here, it does not state those positions. And for you to say they've gone for a meeting, have you got the minutes of that meeting? Because mukanguna vanhu vakaungana mauda kutovapa zvinhu